Hello, we are looking once again at Rex 121, the Super Duper Steel, Hyper Steel, Ultra Instinct Steel, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Steel that we have here from Spyderco. 68 Rockwell hardness, ballpark-ish. Rex can of course go up to 72, of course. you knew that already. Can go up to 72 on the Rockwell scale, but seldom seen. And yeah, for a production example of it, it's done very well, obviously. When I first cut tested with the factory edge, it did 2100 cuts before it was no longer slicing a held sheet of paper, meaning it was only slightly dull after 2100 cuts, which is a lot of cuts of anything. Remember, my cuts are of twisted sisal rope into this wooden chopping board, which I've had for the entire time I've been doing these tests. It used to be twice as big. One day I just dropped it and it cracked like a piece of slate, and it was only half the size from that point on, but goodness me, it tells a story. The surface of this, the amount of knives, so many. Anyway, so test one, 2100 cuts for the factory edge, great. Then I sharpened it just to show you that you can use pretty basic stuff. I sharpened it with this guy here. After not doing so well with the basic Spyderco medium stone, I moved on to this, which did sharpen it quite easily, but sharpened it to 20 degrees per side, and it was a pretty basic edge. But even still, that edge cut 1450 times. And then I used my Spyderco CBN stone, which is like a type of, it's not a diamond abrasive, it's a cubic boron nitride, but cuts very similar to diamonds. Use that, and then I'll strop with diamond pastes after that. I got to 1800 cuts with that one. That was a couple of videos ago, so that was cool. What I'm hoping to do today is put my best possible edge on the knife. I'm going to use my KME system. I'm going through 140 grit through to 1500 grit, and then some strops, and we're going to see how it cuts then. So yeah, the sharpening first, and then the cut test second. That's going to be a cut test for the ages. I just have a feeling that my arm is going to be sore after that one. So should be a fun video for you all. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Here's something I get asked all the time. Because of this cutting, how much stronger is my right than my left? Well, when I go to the gym, I can comfortably do a 40 kilo wire curl, but I can't move 50 kilos with this hand, but I can with this hand. So there's that. But also, here's a dynamometer. Turn it on. It's got all my details in there. Start. Left hand. Oh, sorry, right hand. An uncomfortable one, but let's give it a crack. Squeezy, squeezy, squeezy. Yeah, that was 50 kilos of grip strength. Try the other side. 46.1. Not a huge disparity. What I am starting is the rice bucket training for my wrists, hands, and forearms, because often I find in the gym what lets me down first is my grip fails first. So something to work on for sure. So perhaps a resolution this year to to focus on my forearm and my hand strength gains. So there we are. Anyway, time for a cut test. Feels like a new edge still. Maybe, I don't know, there's a little bit of paper stuck to the edge. Maybe that's a sign that's got a little, flat part on it. Who knows? I do believe I've caught the factory edge. So, still very sharp, no snags, no hiccups. Slice it through the paper. 2100 cuts. Oh shit, it's a rip again. 2200. It's like perfect Pac-Man mouth. Just start a new hank, I think. So we've now cut probably about 15 meters of rope, like with the cuts being as short as I can make them. Try and get as many cuts per hank of rope as I can by narrowing the, but I get a bit clumsy, I must admit, towards the end especially. 2200, alright, let's push through to 23, I guess. You know what, it made a slightly different noise, but it's still a smooth cut. But the noise is promising. Going a bit like a whoosh, whoosh, the could be it. 2300 right now. Wow. It's like my strength just goes. I'm like, by the end. Still cutting, but it's definitely like a hook to it a little bit. 2400 through to 2500. See how we go. I'm starting to push the rope off the edge of the table now. It's like one of those dollar machines from in England where the money just pushes to the edge. That's how it's going. Get away, fly. Well, that's a relief. My God. Alrighty, so there we go. 2,500 cuts on with the best edge that I can put on a knife. I'm not the best sharper in the world. I require a mechanical aid to sharpen really, really well. You might be able to do better even. And what I'm most interested in is that this is a pretty high polish edge. It's about as mirror as I can do. It's probably about half an hour of sharpening all up, just really gone slow, just making it right, And that's these steels. People often say, "Oh, they need to be coarsely sharpened." Just leave it at 150, mate. It just wants to be a serrated blade, pretty much. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty polished, and it's the best result by. We'll beat the factory edge by 400 cuts, I think. Youch. Beat the factory edge by like the entire of what, like 3V cuts. It's just such a crazy, crazy blade material. Very, very cool. So yeah, and this, remembering, is not dull. This is not a dull knife. This would still be considered quite a sharp knife. Like, you would definitely not, you wouldn't say, oh geez, time to resharpen my dull Rex 121 knife. Like, it just, like, when you just use the specific part that was wearing the most of the rope and the board, that part kind of hiccups when you try and do a gliding slice. But like, you would definitely cut yourself on this blade very, very easily, even still. So, I think I need a week or so's break of edge retaining testing, because I'm going to get an RSI otherwise. So that'll have to sort of put you all to rest for now. Other aspects of the steel, I've barely been washing it or rubbing it down with anything. It's stayed pretty much shiny. There's no rust. There's no discoloration on it at all. So it's not a particularly rust-prone steel. I theorized last time maybe that's because there's less and less iron in these really high-end steels to rust. I don't think tungsten or vanadium really oxidize or rust. Anyway, this is just speculating. So maybe that's it, because yeah, it's just kind of a high-speed tool steel, really. Yeah. So there's that too. That side of it's going pretty well. It does seem to chip a little bit more dramatically when you hit, say, a bit of wire like I did in the first video. But absolutely sharpens back. Definitely sharpens back easy enough as long as you have the right tools. So anything diamondy, CBNE, that's all you need. So yeah, it might take a little moment longer. And I still admit, even on the KME just now, the abrasives felt like they were like a mesh or two fine, like a degree finer. Like, so even the 140 felt like the 300, which felt like the 600, which felt like the the 1000. It's kind of how it goes. That's what I'd sort of say most. So it probably indicates a little bit more sharpening time. But as long as you've got your action down, it is just a little bit more time. So there you go. Look, overall, love this knife. Love the steel in this knife. I'm really happy with it overall. It's definitely a favorite. Definitely a favorite, just through its craziness. I'm not sure if you want to be prying open, shipping crates with it, but as an EDC slicer that's going to barely ever need to be sharpened, let's be real here. That's so much real world use to translate into what I just did. Huh? And yeah, music for the sharpening portion was my son's music project. Go and subscribe to him, give him a thumbs up, a positive comment, and yeah, give him a bit of a boost. He appreciate it. He's only young. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.